So you need a cute seasonal gift. Well, gift some gift tags in a gift box. That's an awful lot of gift, but okay. Of course you can decorate your tags any way you like, and you can put them in this sweet little box with a clear lid. I'm going to show you how you can make this box with a double bottom into which you can insert a transparent lid, and of course I'm going to show you how you can make the tags as well. Hey, welcome back to Karen's Papercraft. Thank you very much for watching. Wat leuk dat je weer kijkt. Dankjewel. Are you ready for it? Then let's begin. The box is in three parts really. The bottom is two trays that fit together, and then you can insert the clear lid in between those two boxes, and I'll do this later. This is my prototype, by the way. I'm going to use a different designer series paper. Then I'm going to show you the supplies that you're going to need. That is the Merriest Trees dies. You don't need the trees now, but you do need the tag and this thing to reinforce the little ring of the tag. I've no idea what this would be called in English. I wouldn't know what it would be called in Dutch either. People who work in an office will know. If you know what such a thing is called, please let me know in the comments. I have no idea. And I don't know how to look it up because I don't know what it's called in Dutch either. So then I'm going to use some adhesive sheets for this little thing to reinforce the tag. You need the Merriest Trees dies to stamp the labels. I'll show you a label. Here is one. You need a scrap piece of Misty Moonlight for that reinforcement thing, and you need a scrap of basic white to make a label. You need more scraps if you want to make more labels, obviously. Okay, so let me put that over here. Then you're going to need some window sheets, and you're going to need designer series paper, and I've chosen for Berry Christmas because I like the green and I thought it went together well with what I chose for my label. For the label, I'm also going to use black baker's twine and the gold and Night of Navy glittered ribbon, which is so gorgeous. So that is the supplies. Then I'll show you I'll start by showing you how you can make a label. So I'll put my things over here first of all. You need the dies, which I've just put away. Okay. So here is the die and that thingy. You're going to die cut the label in the scrap of basic white. I'll go and do that. I've die cut the label. Just poke this thing out. Then I'm going to stamp on it, and I'm using Misty Moonlight and Daffodil Delight. And then I'm going to show you how you can make that thing to reinforce. And I'll get rid of my die first of all. I'm going to use the scrap of Misty Moonlight and some of this is also a scrap of the adhesive sheets because I don't need much here. So I'll just stick this on and then cut it to size. And this again I'm going to run through my die cut machine. You put the die with the cutting side down onto the cardstock and then you run it through. This is what you'll end up with. Again, I'm poking these out, but I'm saving these because these are little stickers, so I could use them as an embellishment. I just put them in a box until I can use them. I'll just put them over there on my desk. Then you can poke it out here. Put my die away. I spent almost half an hour looking for this one last week I just didn't see it anymore, and I was afraid I'd thrown it away, but I hadn't. It was okay. I'll take my silicone craft sheet to show you. It's darker then, easier to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to remove the paper backing now, because this is now a sticker, and it's very easy to adhere, no mess. Then I'm putting it onto my desk as straight as I can. It helps me to put this thing on straight as well. So I'm looking for where the hole is, stick it down, fold it over, and then again put it over the hole. And with my bone folder I press down really well so that it sticks well. That's the label almost finished, because I'm going to show you how to attach the ribbon. You need about 2¼ inches of the ribbon, so that should do it, something like that. You cut it at an angle already, and you don't have to cut it to size anymore. Then with the glittered side outside, you put it onto the label and you poke it through, and then you pull until about halfway, and I use my tweezers to hold it together. And then with the baker's twine I'll show you a trick how you can tie this little piece of ribbon, because it is stiff. It's beautiful, but it's rather stiff, and you don't want, when you've tied it, you don't want it to come undone. So when you make a loop, normally you pull your end through once. Now I'm pulling it through twice, so that when I've pulled it, it won't slip open anymore. Then I can poke the ribbon through, and it's tricky. Well, tricky, it's not life-threatening or anything, but because the ribbon is stiff, it's not as easy to get it through. There we go, so I've pulled it over, and now I can pull tight. It's not perfect yet, no problem. Pull tight and tie another knot, and I've left it on the spool for a reason. It means that the only wastage I have here, this is rather long now, because well, I wanted to make sure that I got it right in one go for filming. You can snip off there, you see, and you have no loss there. And now I can take these ends and pull, and then the ribbon will be at the bottom automatically. Then you need about 8 inches of the baker's twine as well. I just measured it on my grid paper. I'm not sure if you could see that. I don't think you can see as far as the bottom. No, I usually show the top. Then you fold this little piece of twine in half, and then at the halfway mark you poke it through from front to back. See what I mean about filming? And there we go. And then you pull that loop over the ribbon. It's not a ribbon, it's baker's twine, and you pull tight, and then you have a label, see? And then people can attach this to whatever they want it to attach to. Right then, I'm going to continue with the bottom, and I'll start by making the clear lid with the Designer Series paper. Oh, and there's little bits of gold all over my grid paper now, because the ribbon does lose some of these tiny glitters. If you use a clothes brush, you know, one of those, well, you can pull this off, and then to remove the lint from your clothes, it works on your desk as well. Right, the clear lid, I'm going to need my window sheet, and you need a piece which is, and I'll get my trimmer out, I'm just checking my notes. I want a piece which is 4 5/8 by 6 3/8. So 4 5/8, 4 1/2, 4 5/8. You just cut it, and I'll put this away carefully, and then 6 3/8. That is tricky because I can't see on my trimmer, can I? No, that's half, 6 3/8. So I'll do this differently. I'll measure it on my desk, on the grid paper, 6 3/8, and I'll scratch it. Can I see the scratch? Yes, I can see. I've made a tiny scratch there. And now I can put this scratch onto the groove and then cut. It's just because, well, exactly where this thing hinges, that's where the 3/8 is, so I couldn't see. But there's always a solution for that. Alright. Then you do need your Simply Scored, because you have to score this, and if you use your trimmer, the scoring isn't deep enough. So here I take a scoring tool with a tiny ball, and I'm going to score this on 4 sides at 1 inch and make the scores deep. So go over them several times and do put on some pressure because you want the plastic to fold. So you rotate and then you repeat. And I'm so sorry, I was so busy filming that I forgot to give you the measurements in centimeters. This piece was 4 5/8 by 6 3/8 in centimeters, that is 11.7 by 16.2. I've scored at 1 inch on all 4 sides, 2.5 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters in centimeters. Then I'll take my silicone craft sheet out again, because you can see here now that it starts to fold together, and I'm going to cut these corners. I'm not going to cut onto the score line, but just to the left of it, and here to the right of it. So I've made a very, very tiny wedge, but I'm really cutting away the score line. Just to the left of the score line, to the corner, and to the right of the score line. And you go around doing that on all 4 corners. It helps to fold the box together more easily. So don't really wedge, because that will be too wide. But I did cut away, well, you can't see, I'm afraid, I don't think you can see, but I did cut away the score lines. Then you need your bone folder, and you're going to fold in the plastic, and with your bone folder, press really well. And if you do this onto your silicone craft sheet, it has some cushion underneath, so folding it is easy. You need some power to do that. Press really well, because you have to tell the plastic what you want it to do. And the last one, and because I've cut away these corners, this is easier, it'll fit in better. Okay, so you can fold it open a bit, see, and this is the lid ready. I know the corners are open, but that's okay when it's in the box. I'll use this later. Then I'm going to show you the bottom tray, the designer series paper, and I'm going to cut it first. And for the larger tray, you need a piece which is 4 3/4 by 6 1/2. So I'll do the 4 3/4 first. And then 6 1/2. And I've put my paper onto my notes so I can't see the centimeters. In centimeters, that is 11.8 by 16.3. And you're going to score this on all 4 sides at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. In centimeters, you score at 1.2 and 2.4 centimeters. So 1/2 inch and 1 inch, and you go around doing that. It's a shame about the polar bears on the back, but well, I can only use one side of the paper. So you fold, oh, that's crooked, let me put it right, that's better, okay. So you fold all these scored lines, and then you need to cut them in a minute. So the narrow end, you cut up those score lines as far as the second score line, and you repeat at the other end. And then you have to create the corners. So you can see what I've done. Let me put my craft sheet underneath. See? The long bit you wedge and then you cut up that little flap. I'll repeat at this end. So here you make a tiny wedge, and there as well. You have this little flap left. You cut it and wedge it, and that's that end finished, and then you repeat at this end. And I'll show you how to stick this together. I'm taking my seal. For this box it's strong enough, so you just put some seal along that long part and you fold it in. Then you fold in these little flaps and you fold in the long side of the box. Well, it's not a box really, it's a tray. Then I'm going to put some seal there, there and there, in case you can't see when filming. So some there and along the top, here too, piece, and there. You could also use tear and tape if you want, or you could use liquid glue even. For this box I prefer seal, and then you stick these ends together. So you put that little flap in and you align it with the side, and then you can fold that flap over and then it's stuck. And here too, push it in, make sure it's straight in the corners, and then fold that flap over. And with your bone folder, don't use the pointy end because this is delicate, you might push through it, so just use that blunt edge and push down onto the glue so that it adheres. That is the box. I'm going to make the second tray, the one that you put the clear lid in between, off camera. I made it in exactly the same way. When I've done it, I'll give you the measurements. The second part of the bottom is both a bit smaller so that you can tuck the clear lid in between, but it's also a bit higher, you see. It makes for a nice look and it's easier to tuck it in. And if you don't like the inside of the designer series paper, I happen to like these polar bears. You could cut, I mean this will cover that one, you could cut a piece of designer series paper. This is too small, but you could cut a piece which is 2.5 by 4 1/4 and then stick it in, and then you would have the same paper all around. Okay, I promised you the measurements. In inches, the second part, so this second, the inner tray, that is just over 5 inches and just over 6 3/4 inches. I'll show you. It is 5 1/8. So if this is the 5, you've got 16, then you go to 1/16 of an inch. And the other one is 4 3/4, so you go to 3/4 and then to the 13th, 16th. That's where you cut. So you make it just slightly bigger. And don't worry, all these measurements are on my blog and the link is in the description box below. In centimeters, it's a bit easier. In centimeters it is 12.9 by 17.4 centimeters, and you score it at 1.6 and 3.2 centimeters on all four sides. In inches you score at 5/8 of an inch and at 1 1/4 inch. And if you want to stick in a little piece of designer series paper in centimeters, it is 6.8 by 11.2 centimeters. But as I said, don't worry, it's all on my blog. I'm going to insert this into the bottom. I put some seal in the middle, and then I put liquid glue on the bottom of the second tray. That makes it easier to stick it in. And from the top I'm going to look if I'm sticking it in with an equal spacing on all four sides, and when it's alright I push down in the middle onto where the seal is, and now I can adhere it and it doesn't shift away anymore. Then I can put in the labels that I've made, and because of the ribbon it is perhaps a good idea to stick them in the way I'm doing now, so alternating them. And I had one label extra here, so I'll take that out. 6 labels will be fine. So put that in, and then I'm going to put the lid on, and I'll show you how. First you stick it on one side and you put in the 2 long sides. It's a bit tricky, it does work. This one is in, this one goes in there, right? It's in on 3 sides, and then you can lift it halfway out and push in the 4th side, and there the lid is adhered. I'm going to add some more ribbon because I just like this glittered ribbon so much. So I'm going to tie a bow. Will that be enough? I think it will. So and I'm putting the glittered side out, so then I'll pull the left one over the right and turn it again so that you do see the glittered side, and pull it through, and then I can cut it, and I pull a bit there and there, and you have a really cute gift. Labels in a gift box. That's it for today. I hope I've inspired you to make your own box of cute gift tags. I'm sure it will come in handy this holiday season. All the details for this project are on my blog, and the link is in the description box below. Did you enjoy this video? Then I would love for you to like it. This really helps YouTube understand that it is a great video. Thank you very much for watching. Dankjewel voor het kijken, and see you next time. Bye bye, tot ziens!